Robert Kiyosaki wrote the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. It's all about wealth building. There's a lot of mixed feelings about it. It's an overall good theory book about how to grow your wealth. And the idea is to become financially free so that you don't have to work anymore. Your money works for you. Well, the business and sales advisor to Robert Kiyosaki is Blair Singer. He wrote the book Sales Dogs and the ABCs of Building a Business Team That Wins. That is who I actually partnered with. He was one of my mentors when I was at that firm, and I actually partnered with him to franchise his company and go build a global coaching franchise. Anyway, for those of you who have read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, help me out with one piece. Who are my readers of it? Okay, how about cash flow quadrant? Anybody? Okay, if this is the cash flow quadrant that Robert Kiyosaki talks about, he talks about 4 different types of people in business. The first one would be, anybody? An employee, okay. Second one is self-employed. We have the business owner, we have the investor. Let me ask, where's the most money made, on the left side or the right side of the quadrant?
Right side.
On the right side. Okay, where's the most money made, in the business owner or the investor?
Should be business owner, but probably investor.
How many think business owner? There's no right or wrong here, just who thinks business owner? Okay, how many think investor? Okay, trick question, it really is. It is here, okay? Investors have the opportunity to make a lot more money, but that's because they understand how money cycles, okay? They understand that they make money out of business. Warren Buffett, probably one of the most famous investors out there. He's good at what he does because he understands this. This is where the most money is made. Our GDP is made up mostly of the small business sector, okay? Right in here. He takes money from his businesses, drops it into investments into other businesses, takes that money and reinvests it back into his own businesses, and his money cycles over here. This is the whole idea and the concept of being able to not work forever, okay? Get this part of it going for you. Now, let me just say, none of these roles, there isn't one that's better than the other. Okay, I know we're in all different roles here in this room. This is about a mindset. Everybody go like this. Come on, play along. Say it's a mindset. It's a mindset. It's not about the role that you play. Everybody's valuable in their roles. It's that, do you think like a business owner? Do you think about cash flow? Okay, do you think about the responsibility that it takes to be a business owner and to do this? Okay, or do you think over here like an employee? And what do employees like? Why, huh?
Paycheck.
They like a paycheck, yeah. And this, like I said, it's not bad. That's fine, it's perfect. Okay, but they like the paycheck and the security, right, over here. So our whole idea is to get to here. Now, my job is to take people from here to here in mindset. Get them thinking like a business owner. How many of you realize business ownership, we're a little bit whacked, right? Yeah, I mean, we're a little bit crazy for getting into it. But it's a different mindset. We think a little bit differently. And if the whole world thought like this, wouldn't we be a better place? We wouldn't have unemployment.
True.
I'm going to tell you that. We wouldn't have that, okay? So this is about going from here to here. How many of you realize it's not as easy as the swipe of a pen? Yeah, okay, it's not. Now, what's the difference between self-employed and business owner?
One works the business, and the other one works the business.
I know what you're trying to say. You're on track, okay? Robert Kiyosaki in the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, what his viewpoint was if you can actually walk away from your business for a year, if you were to walk away for a year, would it be more profitable when you came back? Or would it even still be in existence? If the answer is no, then you're self-employed. If the answer is yes, then you're a business owner. Now, my suspicion is that most of us in this room are self-employed. Okay? Again, it's about a mindset. One's not better than the other. It's about getting to this mindset, because if we can't get to this mindset, we can't ever get here. Does that make sense? Okay? Basics. So if we want to build a successful business, There's 3 things that we have to be able to do, 3 primary things that we have to be able to do to build a business, which means the business can run without you. What are those 3 things? What's the first thing you have to be able to do? Why are you guys here this weekend? To learn how to sell. Thank you. Okay? You've got to be able to sell. If you can't sell, you have a really expensive hobby. Okay? You got to be able to take a product or a service and exchange it for cash. Okay? Otherwise, kudos don't get us anywhere. Financially, they don't support us. It's nice to get them, but they don't support us. And if we're going to do this as a business, business means we're trading. We've got commerce going on. Okay, so that's great if we can sell. As a business owner, we can sell. What else do we have to be able to do? What's the problem if you're really good at sales? Yeah, if you're really good at sales, though, what's the problem that you're going to run into? You can only put your button so many places at one time. Okay, you're going to get maxed and capped at where you can go because you can't put yourself out there in enough places. So if you can sell, that's great, but what do you have to be able to do to grow? You have to be able to, who said what? Ooh, hey, yeah, I'll skip. I usually do the other one first. And who are you going to teach? You have to be able to build a team, and you have to be able to teach. Okay, and this could be any business. I mean, you think of just a little business on the corner that went out of business that maybe some of you might know someone who's gone out of business. Which thing was missing? They either couldn't sell, they couldn't build a team, and we hear it all the time, I just can't find good people. How many of you have said that? I have. Come on. Before I realized this whole model years ago. I just can't find good people. It's not about finding good people. There's great people out there. It's about being able to teach them. And if you can teach them, you'll find the right people and be able to get them to do this. Simple? We've got to have systems and strategy. How many of you have a 5 to 10 year written strategic plan for your business? Okay, good. Got a couple. Okay. Strategic plan, I'm saying, not a business plan. Business plans are for capital. Strategic plans are laying out exactly what you need to do. I don't ask that question I just, want to get a feel for the room because this is huge. If you don't have a strategy, a written strategy, it's all in your head. You can't ever do this, and your team has no idea what you're doing and what they're going for. Okay, so they have a hard time selling because the entire vision and picture and everything isn't laid out and delegated and itemized to what needs to be done. So I would say take the time. Franchise is a great place because you get systems. Now, they're being built. I get it. It is a period of time in a franchise to build out the systems, to put the things in place. You learn a lot of things as you go, and sometimes you got to destroy it and build it back, okay, to make it work. The thing is do we have the right team who's willing to stand with us to do that? That's what we're looking for, because that's really what we're here. We're excited about what we're bringing you, and we're going to be bringing you in on some really good stuff to grow the organization. It's got to start somewhere, and my opinion is it starts today. So this is great if we get systems, we get strategy, we can do all the rest of this. We also have to have this. It's the word everybody hates. Accountability. And right here specifically, I'm talking about an accountability to numbers. Okay, what are the numbers that we track in business? Sales, okay.
Overhead.
What was that?
Overhead.
Overhead, good. What else?
Performance.
Okay. Yeah, performance, good. What else? Cash flow.
Reinvestment.
Reinvestment, okay. Profit, okay. I hear people say revenue all the time. I don't care about revenue. If you spend $1 million to make $1 million, you're still broke. I only care about how we can get profit in your pockets. Okay, what are the ways that we can do that? And again, everyone has a responsibility to that. So, accountability numbers, know your numbers. Okay, so we're going to talk about some of this stuff this weekend as well. The most important thing, and this is where we're going to step into right here, is a champion's code. How many of you have ever been in the military? Anybody? How about how many of you know about the military? Okay, the Marines. Do they have a code of honor? What is it? Anybody know? No man left behind. You know, I mean, they've got all different things in there that they have. You know, there's Semper Fi, whatever. I don't know all of them. They have a champion's code, okay, which is the rules. What are the rules that bind us together? What are the rules that bind us together as a team? How do we operate? What that means for us as an organization. We've got to come up with those rules. What does that mean? Now, this is not, I'm not talking about your franchise agreements and legal documents. I'm talking about an agreement. Just an agreement that we all have, that we want to create a culture that's productive, that works for everyone. There's not backbiting, okay? One of the things on my Champions Code is deal direct. Must be willing to call it and be called on it. And that is everyone. It's not about being perfect. It's about having some guidelines. And in order for me to become a better person, I want them to call me on it. Because I become better when they go, hey, Karen, you were late this morning. Okay. Got it. Does that make sense? We want everybody, it's not, oh, I'm the business owner and you do as I say. It is, let's all come up with the code. Same thing with franchisee, franchisor. It's not Carol Ann saying, here's the rules, and I'm laying them down. It's, what are the rules that we all agree to? Okay, so this is the foundation. This isn't here at the bottom because it's the least important. It is the foundation of any solid business. Okay, I want you to come up with 10 rules as a team. What are your rules of engagement and how you're going to operate? Okay, if you're going to be doing sales or building a business, what would you want the rules to be in order to be successful over the next 2 days? How do you want to support each other? How do you want to communicate with each other? I'm just giving you some ideas, things, but I want you to get together now, take 5 or so minutes, and lay out 10 rules that you think would be good rules for your team to be the most successful and win over the next 2 days. If we have a rule and we have not defined it, it's open to interpretation. You want to go back to your clinics and create this with all of your people and clarify what it means. That's our job as a leader, is to take out every obstacle. Take every obstacle out of there that you can. You hear there's an obstacle, okay, my job is to hear that and do everything I can to remove the obstacle. And most of the time it's just in our communication. It's the accountability. How do we hold it? I'm going to tell you that every Champions Code has, everybody write this down, because when you go back and create yours, if you miss this piece, it will not work for you. Everyone on the team must be willing to call it and be called on it. If your rules do not have that in there, it's just another set of rules on a piece of paper. It becomes a piece of paper and nobody uses it. They go, yeah, blah, 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 sure. Or if you had one of these for your clinic and you were hiring a new person and you handed it to them and you had them read this and they agree to it, it's not enough. You got to ask them some questions around it, make sure that they buy into that. But guess what? People don't get fired. They will fire themselves.